Hey, everybody, Adrian here, Democrat running for Arizona Secretary of State, and I'm an election administrator. While I was the Maricopa County Recorder here in Maricopa County, Arizona, the second largest voting jurisdiction in the United States of America, I have a SERA certification from Auburn University in the Election Center, and the Republicans are getting ready to steal your elections at the precinct level from inside the system, and only you can stop it from happening. We are absolutely terrified about what's happening to our political system right now. And as an election administrator, let me tell you how this works. Okay, first and foremost, election administrators, whether elected or appointed, we don't do the whole election ourselves. We depend on folks like you. We depend on teachers and cops and retired plumbers and all kinds of folks from all kinds of places, not just to work the polling places where people actually cast their ballots, but to work in the warehouses, to drive the trucks, to make sure that whatever auditing happens well. If you're in a state with signature verification and a lot of mail-in voting, folks do that too. It's a bipartisan effort. Lots of folks from all parties, Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Greens, and Independents come together and do this work. Unfortunately, right now in 2022, we've got a significant and serious problem. Here's the problem. We now know that the RNC is secretly training people to subvert America's elections from inside the polling places. How do we know that? Political article talks about secret tapes that were revealed. The RNC looking at subverting our election from inside of the polling places. Now, let me be real clear here. Not all Republicans are crooked or corrupt. I worked with plenty of them and they would never do something like this, but enough of them are that even Fox News is reporting on it. NPR NewsHour is reporting on it. The Concord Monitor is reporting on it. This is a serious problem, and you are the solution. I'll get to that in a minute, but here's the real problem. You see, as an election administrator, we trained nearly 10,000 people to go out to the various polling places to make sure that folks walking in not only were treated with dignity and respect, but we followed the rules to make sure that their constitutional rights were upheld. That training happened ahead of time, and we made sure that everybody was playing from the same playbook, that it was fair, that we had bipartisan teams in every precinct in Maricopa County, which we have hundreds of, several hundred precincts. I mean, it's 2.6 million voters. There's a lot of precincts in Maricopa County. So all of that training has to happen ahead of time. Here's the problem. We now know that there is some subversive training happening ahead of time. And we even have a slide of it. I'll hold this up. How to challenge a voter. This comes from that RNC training. They're putting lawyers, they're putting all kinds of their activists into poll worker training after they've taught them, here's how you mess with the election. Now go and stand there and challenge voters when they come in to vote on election day. Now you go try to turn this thing towards Donald Trump. Why? Because he's a sore loser and we want to back him up. That's what the Republican Party wants to do. Steve Bannon cooked this up. It is evil. It is anti-American. It's not un-American. It's anti-American. For one political party to try to subvert the election, it has never happened in the history of this republic. Here's the solution. As big of a problem as that is, I mean, think about these guys going into communities of color. Think about these guys going in and challenging voters and gumming up the system with these challenges that take way more time than normal voter processing. It's about delay. It's about obstruction. It's about utilizing the levers of government with malice to try to influence negatively an election if it doesn't go the way that they want it to. And you think they're going to go into their majority precincts? No. No, they're going to go to vulnerable populations. That's a significant problem. Here's how you can be the solution. Go be a poll worker. For God's sakes, get off the Twitter machine. Get off the Facebook and the Instagram. It is what citizens do. We're the ones that want this system to perpetuate because we believe in it. We know it's true. So we've got to go do something about it. Look, I'm running for Secretary of State in Arizona. I got my hands full, and as a candidate, I can't go do it, or I would. You've got to do it. Yeah, you can do the postcards and the phone calls and the door knocking and all of the things that us politicians need you to do for our campaigns. But what about your fellow citizens? Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Libertarians, Greens alike, they need you. Reasonable people, people who still believe in the Constitution, people who still believe that you can work side by side with someone of another party to make our system work well for this entire republic. You are the solution to this problem. Yes, they are well funded. They are well coordinated. They have malice in their mind to subvert our elections. Don't let them get away with it. How do you do that? Where do you go? Well, in Arizona, early voting is run by county recorders, and the elections department usually falls under the board of supervisors. But it has its own structure across the country. In different states, you do different things. Janice Winfrey, for example, in Detroit, a friend of mine who testified in Congress the same time that I did about threats that we received as election administrators, somebody actually came up to her and threatened her outside of her own house. These are the kinds of folks who need you to reach out to them. They need you to go get involved. You are the solution to the problem that the Trump fascist Republicans are presenting at polling places across the United States of America. This call to action needs you to do something more. And yeah, I know we are all so tired. We're post-COVID worn out. The economy, the jobs, the war in the Ukraine, whatever is happening outside there in the world, it doesn't matter. Folks, I'll tell you what, when I was a 7-year-old kid, I went to this movie theater in Tucson on the first day of the release of a movie. You know what movie that was? It was Star Wars. And I learned at that point that hope is always there. We can't just let this go. The fascist forces in the Republican Party are trying to steal our elections at the polling places. They've been caught on tape talking about it, strategizing about it. We had their trading material has been exposed. We know they're trying to steal our elections. Go be a poll worker. Get involved that way. And if you want to help campaigns, great. A campaign like mine always needs extra help, right? You can go to electfontes.com. You can donate. You can sign up to do postcards or phone calls or any of that stuff. Any local candidate you want can get that kind of help. But at the end of the day, the system itself can only be perpetuated if it has strength, if it has solid folks like you who want to help every voter, regardless of party, regardless of their value systems. We have to work together as Americans to make sure that we protect democracy. Because right now our democracy is under threat. And it's under threat by neo-fascists under the Trump attempted regime. I mean, for God's sakes, all you got to do is look at January 6th. They're still trying to steal the election. Now they're trying to do it from inside. Don't let them. Get involved. Go to your local election administrator, whether it's a county clerk, whether it's a board of supervisors, whether it's an election board. Go find out. Be the educated citizen. Use the Google machine and figure that stuff out. You can do this. You can do this. Be the engaged citizen. Be the educated citizen. Make it happen, folks. Because we can do this social media thing all day long, but it ain't going to make a difference out there in the 3D world. You're the one that's going to be able to make the difference. I believe that we can win in this competition to try to make democracy survive here in the United States of America. I believe that. And I believe in you and your ability to go out there and answer this call to action. And it doesn't matter if the party's organizing it or not. It doesn't matter if the Green Party or the Libertarian Party or the Democratic Party or anybody else. We know the Republicans are organizing. They're organizing to steal this thing at the polling places. You need to stop it. You can be a part of this. My name is Adrian Fontes. I'm running for Arizona Secretary of State. I am absolutely passionate about this, and I will not apologize for my passion. This democracy is too important. You can help us survive the onslaught of these fascists. Please, please, please get involved.